whose iPod 2?
It's mine.
I'm sorry, sir. Is this your Palm Pilot?
How's it feel to be back at Comic-Con?
I never remember Comic-Con. I have that feeling of like, you know that feeling when you're like, you have a connecting flight and your plane is like landing and it's already boarding and you're still flying. Like, Comic-Con is the feeling of getting off that one flight and like rushing to another terminal to get, hopefully, with that panic, your luggage is not going to make it. That's what Comic-Con feels like. I don't even know, it's just frantic.
It's the same way for us also.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Is it different for you, this Comic-Con versus the very first Comic-Con you did for Grimm?
Yes, absolutely. I was a boy. I was just a kid. And I was probably very overwhelmed. Not that I don't enjoy this, I do, but I'm not as like just, doughy-eyed, and I kind of know the program, which is, I think, for the better. You don't burn all the energy on... You save the energy for the important stuff like this.
Can you talk about the episode that you're directing? It's episode 3.
Yeah, it's episode 3.
What can you tell us about it?
I can tell you the whole thing, but I'll get fired.
Tell us.
So they were kind enough to let me direct one, and because I'm in most of the scenes, they had to find a clever way to write me out, and also they don't want me to screw up the premiere, so they gave me the 3rd episode to screw up. So we were shooting the 3rd episode first. It's just a big continuity F up. But you know what? Thank you, everybody. It's a really fun episode where Renard gets to battle his greatest enemy yet. That's all I'll say. No joke.
It seems like Juliet is back. What can you tell us?
It might be happening. I think we're starting to see a little bit. I don't know if it's Juliet coming back or a human coming out of Eve. But I think that's something to discover.
Do you think Nick is hoping that Juliet is back? Is he totally over her and just in the alley?
There's always much. Nick's been a guy who's always had a lot on his shoulders. I think he's finding himself in the Grimm version of whatever the Jerry Springer show is in the Grimm world. If Juliet comes all the way back, it's gonna be I feel like Bitsy would have to answer this, but for those people, and I'm not one of them, who believes in past lives, and they're like, why do I feel this emotion? Maybe in a past life I was attracted to Nick Burkhardt, or I think a lot of emotions are coming through her that she doesn't quite understand why. So it's neat.
We saw Nick
But she has them. Why do I feel this stuff for Nick, other than he's a hunky little guy?
So we saw Nick kind of go down that dark path last season and lose Adeline, his kid. How do you think he's going to come out of that? What do you think will be able to draw him out of that?
We're not the most evolved show. We handle things through violence, generally. So, yeah.
So you talked a little about episode 3. What can you talk about episode 1, the premiere?
Yeah. So it picks up the millisecond we left off. The micro moment where we left off. And I kind of can't
tell us.
Yeah, we're all on the run. Renard isn't on the run. There's probably a giant melee between the two of them. And most of the gang, Renard has the power right now. So we're definitely band on the run. And we can't hang out in our normal haunts either. We can't go to the precinct, we can't go to the loft, we can't go to Monroe or the Lee's place. We spend a lot of time in the rabbit warren, which is the tunnels. Yeah.
So we saw last season you guys added the babies and the kids to the set.
We did.
How did that go?
Major mistake. Production-wise, major mistake. Babies. In this country, we have rules. If you're an infant, you can't work more than 15 minutes every couple hours or whatever. So it's they cry. Less than me, but they cry still.
So you didn't enjoy them?
Yeah.
Do you think Nick's son is going to start showing powers?
I don't know. I think that Diane is the one to worry about right now. Yeah, she's kind of this latent human. She's figuring out her moral code and her impulses. But when we did that, like if I was like being a jerk for a half second, I'd like push my sister, she'd cry, and I'd be like, oh, she has like all the power in the world, and she has to figure out what is good and what is bad.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.